I want to say that it's your boy Big Rich, Mob Story Season 2, New York City, Queens, where we get busy. Salute to the Gorilla Glue crew. You know how we do, blessing the atmosphere with, throwing some smoke in the air. Mob Stories, you know how we get down Saturday night. I hope everybody tuned in for the show last night. If not, it will be posted up right after I finish recording this story. How about that? Let's get right into some business. I know it's been a while since we put up a story, but I've just been really busy. Mama Ruckus, COVID-19, streets are getting empty. Is there going to be a military lockdown? A lot of people are sending me shit. I don't know. Listen, all I know is things will never be the same. That's all I know. All right, so let's get right into business. Straight from the pages of ganglandnews.com. I'm a member. I hope you're a member. Written by Jerry Capisci. Let's get right into it. 7 years later, thieving union boss Vincent Fyfe loses his $300,000 a year job. 7 years after the feds nailed him for swindling members of his Brooklyn-based union, the grandson of the late Vincent the Chin Gigante finally got the bum's rush from his cushy post atop the labor organization that was long controlled by the legendary Mafia boss. Earlier this month, Vincent Fyfe was escorted from the building at 8402 18th Avenue in Brooklyn, where he had long ruled as the $300,000 a year president of a local union representing wholesale liquor salesmen. Quote, "It came as a complete surprise 2 weeks ago," said a member of Local 2D of the United Food and Commercial Workers. They suspended Fyfe and a few vice presidents, but you could tell it was a much more serious thing with Fyfe, the source continued. They escorted him out of the building. The union, however, took its sweet time about it. Leaders of the 1.2 million member UFCW waited 3.5 months after Fyfe finished testifying in Manhattan federal court against a crony of his granddad's Genovese crime family, a disgracia. Fyfe, who admitted on the stand he was hired at the union thanks to his grandfather's intervention, agreed to cooperate in 2012 after the FBI caught him taking kickbacks on union insurance deals. Disgracia. Fyfe agreed to wear a wire and finger Gigante's son, Vincent Esposito, for extorting $10,000 a year from him. As part of the deal, the feds agreed not to inform Fyfe's union about his own stealing until the case was over. The sweet agreement left the union boss sitting pretty as he hauled in about $2 million in salary as president of Local 2D in the 7 years he was working undercover. 7 years. Technically, Fyfe's role as a cooperating witness ended when he completed his testimony against Genovese soldier Frankie G. Giovinco and walked out of the courtroom on November 26 to insults from Esposito's sisters, Carmela and Lucia, who called him a piece of shit. We did an article on that. They were there giving him the fucking evil eye. The failure of union bigs to bounce Fyfe from his lucrative post that day or 2 days later when Gangland reported his testimony left members scratching their heads. It became even more of a puzzle the following week when the story of Fyfe's testimony and the crimes he committed appeared in the New York Post and Daily News. The FBI, the Manhattan U.S. Attorney's Office, the UFCW, and Fyfe's lawyer, Joseph Giaramita, declined to comment. Whatever the hesitation on the part of powerful international union executives, it ended 2 weeks ago, sources say, when UFC President Anthony Mark Perrone assigned an international vice president, David Young, the director of the UFCW's Northeast region, as a trustee to serve as Local 2D's interim president until elections can be held later this year. Young began his career in the labor movement in Staten Island as an A&P cashier as a member of Local 342 in 1994. In 2014, after his appointment as regional director, he wrote in a UFCW editorial that it was important for union members to talk about the values the UFCW has always stood for. Young, however, was mum about his appointment as a trustee at Local 2D. He failed to reply to any of the calls or emails from gangland. It's unclear whether Young's role as an interim president of the 1,600-member union will boost his vice president earnings, which were $215,099 in 2018, the last year the union reports are on file with the Department of Labor. Unlike many workers who have been laid off during the COVID-19 pandemic, local 2D workers are not suffering, at least financially, during the coronavirus crisis because they work in an unaffected liquor distribution industry. That's sweet. They're getting paid right now. Fyfe, 46, pled guilty to embezzling money from local 2D between 2005 and 2009, as well as taking part in 2 kickback schemes before 2012 when the feds busted him and he agreed to cooperate, according to his testimony at Giovinco's trial. Fyfe faces up to 11 years in prison, but stated on the stand he hopes to get no years in return for his cooperation with the feds. A disgracia. Beyond that, the detail of Fyfe's own scams and the case against him remains sealed, even though prosecutors consented to unseal the court file back in January in response to a gangland motion to do so. Gangland argued that the general public, as well as union members whom Fyfe stole from, have the right to access court proceedings and documents in all criminal cases, absent compelling reasons not to do so. Fyfe's lawyer objected to the unsealing. However, and on January 23rd, Judge Paul Crotty issued a handwritten one-sentence ruling. The sought-after material will be disclosed after Fyfe is sentenced, but not before that time. In a motion to reconsider on January 27, Gangland, citing the government's consent to release the information, petitioned Judge Crotty to reverse his decision and unseal the entire file. We also noted that the U.S. Supreme Court and Appeals Court required judges to give explicit reasons why court records should remain sealed when no extraordinary or compelling reasons exist. Fyfe, we wrote, was the elected representative of 1,600 union members who are both victims of his admitted corrupt activities and members of the public. They have the right to be made aware of his crimes and be given the opportunity to attend Fyfe's sentencing and address the court regarding the defendant's sentencing, not learn about it after it happens. Fyfe's lawyer again asked the court papers remain sealed, and Crotty has left them that way. Now that the union members have seen their longtime president unceremoniously ousted from his job, you'd think a federal judge would want them to understand exactly what kind of scams he ran on them. Salute to Gangland News. Salute to Jerry for always being on his job. That's why I'm a member of his site, and I hope you guys are too. Gangland News. Excellent story, Jerry. Thank you very much. First of all, salute to the whole Hong Gang, Team Ruckus, to my Gorilla Glue crew. Throw some shit in the fucking atmosphere. You understand what I'm saying? Salute to everybody. We will talk soon. New mob story coming out tomorrow. And also, we got to do an Andragata report. That'll be coming out tomorrow as well. So let's see. Maybe tomorrow Andragata. No, tomorrow we do mob story. Monday we do Andragata. Everybody have a good evening. Stay safe. Be smart. Make sure you got your batteries, flashlight, candles, food, Band-Aids, everything you need. Shit is getting real in the streets of New York City. No joke, especially Queens. All right, anyway, let's talk. We'll talk soon. Salute.